What's up, buddy?
Not much, man. Holy shit. I don't fucking know.
Oh, for what? Huh? I just had an article like COVID evidently is back
Oh.
in China. It's starting in China. It's different from last time.
It's in China.
It didn't start in China last time. It started from a Chinese bat. But every article you look for is just everything that happened 5 years ago.
Yeah.
There's videos, but new COVID wave in 2025.
Great.
Years after COVID-19 first hit,
That's
cases
not
are
China.
rising again. Not just in India, but across Asia and the US. Singapore saw a 30% spike in May, and
Yeah.
in India, active cases have crossed 1,000 in just a few weeks. Now, the government has already given out over 220 crore vaccine doses, right? So, why the spike? Well, like any seasonal virus, COVID is mutating, and the vaccines most of us took, like Covishield and Covaxin, weren't built for the newer strains. Immunologists call this antigenic imprinting, when your immune system focuses on what it already knows while sometimes missing what's new. Don't panic though, most cases are still mild, but remember the real cost. How the Sensex crashed 13% in a single day
Yeah,
back
no.
in March.
See, here's the thing. She even in that article or that, whatever, in that report,
Yeah.
she even said herself, these viruses and everything spike and they mutate every year. I mean, they get it, flu,
The flu,
cold, everything. Like it's all the same thing. Why are they focusing on COVID again, though? Like, are they going to try to push that again? They already did that before, and a lot of people went, "Hold on, no." There was the original people like us and however many other people who were like, "This just seems kind of odd." And then as it went on, we're like, "No, this is just fucking bullshit."
Yeah.
And then there was a whole ostracizing and the split down the middle.
Yep.
And,
Vax versus unvax.
but yeah, and after all that, a lot of people finally went, "Nah, this isn't like, you're not doing that to me again."
No.
So why would they push the same things? Oh, COVID's back. Like, you're going to get that small group of people now, in retrospect, that are
But
like, "Oh
lots.
my God, it's back."
But a lot smaller.
Yeah.
Because there was a lot of people, even on the vax side, that eventually, by the end of it, hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right here.
Yeah. And now, with like Moderna's putting out a lower dosage, like booster or vaccine now. They're doing it's like, oh, it's a light. It's like Moderna light, mRNA light. So they're doing that now.
Can't say that.
Oh, light? Sorry, LITE. But they're doing a light version now, like Diet Coke. You know?
Yeah, because that's better for you.
Yeah. Well, that's what they're doing now. And
Oh my God.
what was the CDC, I think, or the NIH? One of the two of them. They finally came out and they have it now to where they don't recommend any of the shots, or at least I believe it's mRNA. They don't recommend those shots for pregnant or kids. Whereas before, they're like, yeah, it's fine. Now they're saying, oh, no. And beyond that, and even bigger than that, now they're saying they're including it with the shot. It may have a risk of blood clots.
Everything has a risk for blood clots.
But they said before, no, that's not from the vaccine.
Okay.
It's not. That's what they were saying before. Remember, just like Fauci
Oh,
said,
yeah.
we're not doing gain of function research. But that's what was claimed before. No, it doesn't cause blood clots. That's not what it does. And now it's saying, well, might cause blood clots or something. I don't know.
I'm sorry, could you speak into my good ear? I thought you said...
I thought I heard you call me Fauci. But yeah, so evidently they're trying to make a push for COVID again. This is mostly, not so much in the States, but as global news goes, they're like really trying to make a push for it. Why, I don't know, but here we are.
Oh, I swear to fucking God.
Also with global news, the UK gender rule. So with their courts, there was an official ruling as far as the country goes. First the US, and now UK.
UK, okay?
No,
Oklahoma?
could be. This is from the BBC.
I don't like those videos.
Oh, geez, wrong BBC. The UK Supreme Court rules legal definition of a woman is based on biological sex. The UK did that. First the United States, and Trump got in office. Now the UK followed suit. And I was actually surprised the UK did it. But I think it's funny that it's something that we have, over the last, 10, 15 years, have warred back and forth so long in the country. We've spent so much money and so much time arguing something that really, before that, we inherently just knew since we were created.
No, the thing is, somebody needed an excuse to blame all their fucking problems on. They found a loophole in the system, and then everybody, like the fucking prom, the fat chick at prom that's willing to suck dick, everybody lines up for something.
Yeah.
That's all that happened. That's the only reason this whole gender thing even kicked off and went aflame as it did.
I think the reason... Anyway, I think that completely derailed my thought process.
No,
I think the reason why this whole gender thing went derailed is obviously it's progressive left. The thing is, it's not the left, and here's where the left gets progressive left gets called the left, and the whole thing is like a blanket statement, just like Republicans and MAGA and everything. That's two different things, right?
Yeah.
There's the neocons, the conservatives, there's the establishment Republicans, same as on the left. They all have their levels of everything.
Yeah.
The progressive left was able to, this is the difference between the two sides. The progressive left was able to really make up a whole bunch of these crazy rules. And the left went, well, all right, even if they didn't agree with it, and they just allowed things to kind of snowball into what it is now.
Okay.
Now they're in a point where all this stuff snowballed so big, the snowball just fucking ran over their own cabin in the mountains. And now they're like,
and that's why Trump's in office.
What the exactly? And that's exactly it, though. That's because Trump was not like he wasn't the guy for the job. It's just he's the only one that went, hey, no, this is all crazy. What are we doing? Now, whether he was just pandering to, being a businessman, he just saw an opportunity to be like, oh, shit, there's this huge, space of a bunch of people from all different walks of life that are all looking at this crazy prog left stuff and being like, this isn't fucking right. This is not even I don't like it. It's just this is fucking stupid, some of it. And he went, there it is. Or just a spade, and be like, yeah, he was just there, and be like, no, I don't agree with this, and you need to step up, and someone needs to say something. I mean, he is a libertarian. He was a Democrat for the longest time until he decided to run back in 2015. Mm-hmm. And he's got a bunch of libertarians on his cabinet now. He's got Tulsi Gabbard.
Yeah.
So the left does all this crazy shit, and then we find ourselves in this position where they're like, shit, now you got to try and backtrack with all this stuff. How do you do it? Because now you've developed this whole ecosystem of marching in lockstep. If you say, you know what, hold on, yeah, children getting sex changes and all this, 13 years old, maybe we shouldn't do that. Now you're going to get part of that system that goes, shame, 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 shame. And now you're just eating yourself from within, which I've said many times, the left eats itself, so just wait a second. And something beyond that too, with a lot of this cultural shift, is back in the early 2000s, when a lot of this really started to kick off, conservatives were having more kids than libertarians. So 25 years later, the problem kind of fixed itself.
Hey, I don't need your help. I can do it myself. Oh, look, I'll toss a pound salad.
That's pretty much what
they eat themselves. Okay.
Yeah. So the UK,
if you know,
the UK Supreme Court rules the legal definition of a woman is based on biological sex. The judge says the concept of sex is binary, while cautioning that landmarking that the landmark ruling should not be seen as a victory of one side over the other, which it really shouldn't be, unless you're talking about stupid over just critical thinking, or logical, because it's sex. It's two things, not gender, made up shit. Like, what gender are you? I'm fucking Treebeard. I don't know. Like,
No, it sounds more to me like, look, everybody's been fucking back and forth on what the hell this is. This is it. No win, no lose. Here's the fucking answer. Either fall in line or get the fuck out.
right. But the problem with the United States, and maybe the UK, seems it, is like talking about this isn't a this way or that way issue. The problem is politics now in Western nations. In Western nations, political affiliation doesn't so much mean like what policies you agree with. It's or what policies you agree with. It's what you think is right and wrong, and that could be on a social level, which really shouldn't have anything to do with politics, but here we are.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of politics that we pay attention to and we talk about are a lot of social problems, economics and everything else, but social problems. We got the whole race war going on with the left, the right. We have gender war. We have made-up genders and pan-spermaria, and
it's almost like somebody at some point in the existence of humanity maybe tried to eliminate all of the problems of one particular issue. Boy.
Who? Go ahead. Yay?
Genghis Khan.
Oh, it wasn't yay then.
Cocaine?
Transgender people still have
The fuck is yay?
legal protection. Yay, with his new song. The one I introduced you to.
Oh.
The new song.
Yeah, I got you.
What was the name of that?
I don't remember, honestly.
Transgender people still have
I don't remember
legal
that being the name of the song.
protection and discrimination, the court adds. The Scottish government had argued that transgender people with a gender
It's a joke, fuckers.
recognition certification are entitled to sex-based protections while for Women's Scotland argue that only apply to people that are born female. For Women's Scotland says it's grateful for the decision after a long road of legal battles, while Charity Scotland Trans urges people not to panic. The Scottish government says it acted in good faith and will work with Westminster to understand full implications of the ruling. Here's the thing about like stuff like this, because a lot of this mostly has to deal with like talking to somebody or about somebody, or like rather in the third person, and identification. Identification is important. Primarily, why? Like if you have to fill out paperwork for an ID, whatever it is, license, passport, whatever it is, and you check male and there's a male or female there, why is that important? It's simple. Don't think too hard about it. Who needs to know if you're male or female?
Probably the same people that need to find the answer as to why are all dildos circumcised.
Right, doctors. Now.
No, seriously. I have no fucking clue why. I've never even considered that.
Well, most people I don't think have, and that's the thing, because it's just something that's like, yeah, whatever, and because it wasn't an issue up until the last like 15 years or whatever.
No, even back in our teen years.
Not in the way it is now. Well, let me rephrase that. So, not in the way it is now, where it's like at the forefront of like all important issues, right?
Really quick then, why aren't we trying to figure, when did that start coming into play?
What?
Male or female, for anything.
The longest time since I can remember.
Like, probably back in what? When was the first check yet, male or female? What, 1930s, 1940s, 1950s? When? When did that start? And why?
I don't know.
Because that is actually something maybe we should look into right now. Not us, but as a society. Maybe that's something we need to look into as to why was that established? When did that even come into play? And was it because of the census? Like how many men and women and children live in America, blah, 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 blah. Okay, well then why all of a sudden did that go into, I don't know, job applications, bank loans, permits, getting certifications, licenses to carry things? Why does that matter? Take the whole gender thing out of the equation. When did it start and why?
Let's ask AI. See, this gives me New York. No. This is state issue IDs established.
Okay, Google. When in America did you need to start checking male or female?
But for what?
Just tap the search chip below.
But while you look for that, see, the Supreme Court has ruled that the legal definition of a woman is based on biological sex, and a definition which could have far-reaching implications for who can access single-sex service in spaces. It came from about right after Scottish government included transgender women in quotas to ensure gender balance on public sector boards. Campaign group for Women Scotland argue that sex-based protection should only apply to people born female. The judges were tasked with deciding on the correct interpretation of sex and woman in the main piece of legislation based out sex-based legal protections. And that's a problem too, is now the word woman is a gender. So now when you say woman, it's like, well, is that trans woman? Is that like a straight, like regular woman?
Cis woman.
Yeah.
They call them.
They call them.
So, in the context of medical examinations and societal norms, the need to identify someone's sex, male or female, has been part of various aspects of American life, from immigration checks to sports, for a long time. Here's the breakdown. Immigration checks. Obviously, they had to know what was coming in versus, male or female. Sex verification in sports.
But that would be another one. Why? Why would they need to know whether male or female is coming across?
Well, because I would assume...
Maybe it's further in.
Well, no, because it only gives you a couple bullet points for each topic. The only thing I could assume is they wanted more men to come in because of the working class, the railroad, this and that. They wanted more men to do these jobs, so they wanted, hey, are you a male or a woman? Man or a woman?
I think it breaks down even maybe like back in the 30s and stuff. Yeah.
Well, no, 18. So the first bullet point,
even
the U.S.
so.
government began using medical examinations to process new immigrants at Ellis Island in 1892.
Right. So even further back, but there was a lot of labor going. So
sex verification in sports. That began in the particularly for women in the 1950s.
Okay, but that one right there is where more goes along with the point I was going to make. Go on.
So then, medical examinations. So men and women are often recommended to receive different screenings and have their health assessed differently.
Bingo. That right there, I think, is a huge point in all of this. Why is there gender, or why is there biological sex checkboxes, male or female? Because that, unless you get that crazy, like what was that Bulgarian boxer there that we were talking about in the Olympics? Like, oh, that's really a man.
It really was.
No, it was a female with an XXY chromosome. It's one of those crazy.
She had 24 pairs of jeans.
It's one of those crazy, rare instances, but that the left ran and went, no, she's really a woman, and the right went, no, that's a trans, and it really wasn't either.
Because she had the X chromosome.
That was one of those instances where
you saw her face.
Yes, and it's a very masculine face. That's why I was like, yeah. I looked at it first, and I'm like, yeah.
Looks like somebody spilled a bottle of Tism on her face. The joke, people. Fuck's sakes.
It was, but everyone looked at it and be like, no, it's this and this, because that happened. Just so happened to occur during this whole fiasco.
I never found out the end result of it, and I didn't want to.
I don't think there wasn't. There was just like at that point I was burnt out from the whole fucking thing.
I didn't want to because I liked being able to go, well, I've heard it really was a woman, and then listen to people. No, it was a man.
Oh yeah, here we go.
And then it was. Well, I heard it was a man. No, it was a woman.
I like
And
how
it's
you
like,
make the left the woman and the right was obviously the guy.
I don't fucking know. I was going male and female, not left and right.
I know, but which just actually goes into. I was listening to something today about I don't know, a Culture War podcast. Actually, they were talking about how like, well, men usually are more rational, women are. It was tongue in cheek, but it made me laugh. I was like, and the guy even's like, I'm like half kidding when I say that, but it's like, men usually when they operate, it's more of they respond to objects and women respond to like emotions, right?
Yeah.
So here's this thing in front of you. What is it? Well, it's this, black and white.
Penis.
Right.
It's black and white. And it's a dildo. And it's uncircumcised. I mean, it's circumcised.
But they're very black and white. Whereas a woman, it's like an emotional response. Here's this. How does it make you feel? And then it might alter. Right? And that's a very broad overview. But that's just generally how we operate. Just we operate similarly, differently. If that makes any sense. But so when going back to what we were talking about here, yeah, that all happened at the same time as we're in this like gender war thing. But going back to what you were talking about, or the thing you were reading, my point was really one of the more important things of why we put male or female, and it's really only two as a whole. There are those XXY extra chromosome tisms, right? But we do that medically because if something happens and you have to be treated for something, they need to know, what are you and how should I treat you? Blair White, for example, right? Trans. She will tell you straight up, no, I'm a man. She asks us like, I'd rather you call me she, but Blair will say, no, I'm a man. I'm trans. So, in instances like this, no problem. Yeah, male. Because if something happens, oh shit, you have testicular cancer. This doesn't fucking make any sense. You know?
Touche.
That's what that's for. Medical. Are there other things too? Sure. Like, and now it also checks boxes like, all right, if something goes down, it's like, what are we looking for? There was a murder, a robbery or something. It's like, it's a 6-foot female, maybe. Depending, wait a minute. It's like everything here matches.
There's semen on the body, but this was the camera shows a room full of what could be women.
Yeah, and now most of them. Here's two. Trans, like Blair White, and there's a handful of others. They could pass for whatever they're training for, or whatever side they're fucking transferring to, whatever you want to call it.
Apparently, becoming a transvestite requires training.
Yeah, it does. Like, lots of money. But
wait, are they training or is there a train going on?
No, I think they're training. They're training to train. I think so. You could train to train. You have to take like estrogen blockers.
But do you have to be a tran to train?
No. Oh, unless I'm a tran. Damn, I train all the time. I'm a training tran.
Train a hell of a lot more than me.
Son of a
I
bitch!
should train I should train. I don't fucking know. Fuck this.
What? The fuck was I talking about? I just lost it. I just got derailed again. This train sucks.
Really quick, the reason why most dildos are circumcised is because in most cases, even when an uncircumcised man is fully aroused, the foreskin is supposed to pull back. Ergo, it resembles a circumcised penis. And it costs less to make it costs less in production materials to make a circumcised.
Yeah, you'd have to have like one of those Under Armour like, was it neoprene or whatever it is?
No, the things we played with when we were fucking kids, the jelly tubes. Tell me, you really fucking think when you were 13, this is fun?
Yeah, and it would like just roll over itself, and that's.
You put your finger in. Oh, look at that, and then you let it go. Boing.
And when you turn like 14, you're like,
Mom, I told you never to disturb me while I'm cleaning my room.
keep it serious.
So. Yeah, the testicular cancer, the sperm on the body, on the camera would show a room full of what could be women.
Right, but yeah,
And then those guys that
like,
could go either way, Brian White or whatever his name was.
But
Brian
yeah,
Hall.
most all right, yeah. So
Hitman Hart.
most of them, when you see like, oh, I'm a trans, and you look, you're like, yeah, we all know, because it's like, I'm a woman, and
It's ma'am.
exactly, and a lot of them are like that because you see like Dylan Mulvaney. It's like, oh yeah, look at that. That is a boy that is.
I'm gonna be pregnant next year.
Yeah.
No, you're
But
not.
if you look at their body structure, it's like you have wide shoulders compared to your hips. Like you look like a long bar of soap with legs and arms.
As Dylan walks around his room, I play out her room, its room,
The
whatever.
jaw, even after her jaw shaving bullshit, it's still a male jaw.
Yeah.
Like
And-
there's things you cannot get around.
I'm waiting for the video where I'm going to be pregnant next year. Walk with me through my nursery. As they're panning through the kitchen, you see a baby doll and a jar of peace sauce.
What was that? A rubber
Butt baby.
baby that. Yeah, it's out there. We covered it a year or so ago. You can go find it. Good luck. Yeah, but so going all the way back to all this, we spent all this time arguing all this, all this time, like the last 10, 15 years arguing about all this shit. And like none of this was a thing up until the extreme progressive left who were like, we have to fight for the rights of everybody. And they even tried to fucking squeeze in pedophiles in there. And I think that's when the right went, all right, hold on. Because the right is notoriously complacent. They're like, I don't like what they're doing. It's like
It doesn't bother us, so we're good.
no, it's not even that. It's like sitting out in front of your house and watching like people. You're like in a lawn chair, and these two people just go into your house, and they come back out with like a chair. I'm like, what the? And they go back in your house, and they come out with a table. Like, what the hell? And they bring out your dishes and a TV, and then
Eventually, your firstborn child.
yeah.
Wait a
You're
second.
like, all right, hold on.
I don't have kids.
I mean, if you're
This isn't my house.
oh, I'm supposed to be working with them. but if you're talking about like the stereotypical MAGA, it's like they took my gun cabinet. Hold the fuck on.
Yeah.
But that's like what just happened there. Like the right kept watching all this shit. Like what the fuck? What the fuck? And then the pedo thing. You're like, all right, hold the fuck on. Wait a minute.
Hey, baby. Go home, baby.
I'm telling
Hey,
you,
Pino. You're not allowed in here, Pino. Go home.
yeah. So whatever the fuck.
Speaking of train derailing,
We just talked about trains.
I know.
Trans and trains.
Poo poo.
What the fuck? So, on the topic of the
Tom was the
Democrats, and let's
DP
bring it
agent.
back to the United States, shall we? So, the Democrats. Did you hear about this whole thing of them spending a whole bunch of money to try to figure out what the fuck happened?
What do you mean? About the election?
Yeah. About the last, 4 years? Specifically, a year and a half, 2 years? So, from the Independent. Democrats spending millions to learn how to speak to American men and win back the working class. Okay, wait a minute. Party leaders are holing up in a luxury hotel rooms on a strategy code named SAM, or Speaking with American Men, a strategic plan to try to convince working class to vote their way again, according to a report. Democrats have blown millions of dollars on efforts to appeal to American men who turned to President Donald Trump in droves on Election Day in the hopes of winning back the working class, according to a report. Democrats have spent $20 million on their efforts, with donors and strategists holding up in luxury hotel rooms, brainstorming how to convince working class men to return to the party.
Motherfucker, rent a Chuck E. Cheese for a night.
It's not even... Yeah, exactly. It's like, if you... All right, getting through those first two paragraphs, if the Democrat Party can't see, just right there, why the working class left them, they're lost. A bunch of leaders in the Democratic Party spend millions of dollars to get together in luxury hotels and be like, why is the working class abandoning us? You're fucking lost.
Here you go. Rochester, New York. There's a fucking Super 8 motel that charges by the hour. I want your fucking party meeting there. They will ask you, do you want a 1 hour, 4 hour, or an 8 hour night? And when you have to sit there and think to yourself, why are they asking me if I want 1 hour? Bitch, in the middle of the fucking night, who needs an hour? A working class man and a prostitute.
I was gonna say, yeah. The plan, codenamed
Fuck's
Sam,
sake.
speaking with American men, a strategic plan promises to use the funds to study. It didn't say how much of the funds, probably like 10%, to study the syntax, language, and content that gains attention and virality in these spaces, according to the report. As the Times described it, the reports, quote, can read like anthropological studies of people from faraway places.
Hold on a second. Anthropological?
Yeah.
Isn't that like the study of prehistoric animals?
Yeah, I can't fucking
So apparently men, working class men in America,
fire. You. What happened? The effort also recommends Democrats buy advertisements in video games, along other things. The Times reported the fucking Democratic Party's cooked. It's fucking cooked.
they're fucking
They have
done.
no idea what they're doing. Above all, we must shift from from a moralizing tone. The plan urges. Yeah, in other words, maybe here by that statement they've realized maybe young men don't like to be tone policed, which is what happened over the last however long it's been, 4 years at least. Men are inherently bad, and the women's problems, it's because of the men. You're evil, masculinity is evil, training is evil.
Training is evil.
Training for training and training for training. That should be.
Say that 5 times fast.
But like all that is bad. Like I said before, Trump wasn't like the greatest guy. He was just the guy that was like
Opportunity.
yes, exactly. Whether it was opportunity or he was like exactly what he was saying was. All the Democrats had to do was give never Trumpers, people that were like, I'm not voting Trump. I think the Democratic Party is fucking like they're all over the place right now, but I'm not voting Trump. All they had to do was give those people any reason to vote for the Democrat, and they couldn't fucking do it. They dropped the ball so hard, they fumbled for the next fucking 16 games. Like, it was such an easy thing for them to do, but they couldn't get out of their own way. And they just fucked it all up. And then what happened? Well, the last election. Like there's
And quite possibly the next election.
the way it's going, yeah, they have no front runners. Who's
No.
their front runner?
Nancy Pelosi.
Oh, God, she's a whole
Kathy Hochul.
another 100 years. Fuck that broad too.
Cuomo.
I would actually go with Cuomo over all the other
Rudy
ones.
Giuliani.
Yeah, he's Republican.
Spitzer.
Wiener.
No, he did a lot of good for New York City. He really cut back on the prostitution.
Yeah, well, he took it off the streets and up
you
to
go.
his penthouse.
Fucker, you beat me to the joke. God damn it. Hey, that was one less hooker for a blue-collar man to get arrested for.
While the Democratic Party has struggled in recent years to maintain voters, the party hopes to be rejuvenated by the fact that Trump's popularity has been on the decline since he was elected last fall. Still, the party has been scrambling to find both messages, or messaging and messenger, since losing the White House. Exactly. They have no frontrunner. They have AOC.
Trump's not losing popularity.
His approval rating has gone from like 50 or 49 to like 44 or 45, something like that.
Well,
But that happens with every fucking.
I was going to say, because when the shit hits the fan, he's got to start making some of the decisions that nobody wants to hear.
Yeah, and
well, of course.
I think that's what's happening right now. Is he's doing a lot of things early on that it's like, this is gonna.
Well, it's the cookie before bed fucking situation. Hey, listen, I'm your parent. You can have a cookie before bed. Here's your cookie. Yay, you're my favorite parent. 20 minutes later, it's bedtime. You're not my favorite parent anymore.
Yeah.
I told you, you're not my favorite parent anymore. Well, you're adopted.
Recent polling from Strength and Numbers, Verisight places Trump underwater with American voters in every single issue except for border security. According to the poll, 40% of people either strongly or somewhat approve of Trump's overall handling of the presidency, while 56% disapproves, split by the same modifiers, putting him 16 points underwater. Trump's numbers seem to be getting worse and worse, and I'm pretty optimistic Democrats will have some real opportunities in 2026. I think they'll gain a couple seats back in 2026, but I don't know. Here's the thing. The Democrats run... To this day, still, Republicans ran on this is what I want to do. This is what's going wrong, and this is what we're going to do to fix it. All through the last cycle, and beyond that through the last administration, Democrats ran on, and actually through Trump's first term, Democrats ran on Trump bad. Orange man bad, orange man bad. Okay, what are you going to do? Open the border? Like, there's no... Everything was just kind of like quick draw. But someone who couldn't fucking shoot. Like, every quick draw was a desk pop or a fucking shot in their own foot. Yeah. Still is a pun. Yeah, that's pretty much it. But everything was either a desk pop or they shot themselves in the foot. Like, it was nothing.
Desk pop. You talking about the other guys? I popped my cherry.
2022 midterms masked the Biden problem, he said about former President Joe Biden. No good 2026 midterm. We would not let mask a deeper problem. That's the thing, too, is a lot of things that happened in the last 4 years are going to carry over for the next 2 years. Now, they said, Biden did have some mental problem. Like, the whole fucking left-wing media just was turned on him. As soon as he was out, it's like, oh, yeah, he's good. And then he's got cancer. He's like, well, but they've known about the cancer for at least 10 years.
The prostate, right?
Yeah. They had to. Stage, was it 9? And there's a lot of people like, you can only have, it's like stage 5. Not with prostate. That's actually like a 6 through 10.
Maybe they should have pulled their hand out of his ass and stopped working him like a puppet sooner.
Wonder why he's getting kind of tight in there. But, so he's at stage 9 when it comes to that, for that kind of cancer. And they're like, oh, man, it just came up out of nowhere. Bullshit.
Oh, he's had this for many years, maybe even a decade, growing there and spreading. That's right. It's a little surprising. I look back at the records, and there's no evidence that when he got his health status and the medical records were released that he had a prostate-specific antigen. But this is, it is also aggressive. When we talk about aggressive, part of what we mean is that Gleason score. That score is from 2, it's 2 up to 10. And he's at a 9. And that means that the cancer doesn't look normal. It looks very abnormal, which is probably why it's in the bone. And as you point out, Joe, it's been around for a very long time in President Biden years. Exactly how many we don't know, obviously. And it is a little surprising to many of us oncologists that he wasn't diagnosed earlier.
So this is not speculation. If you have prostate cancer that is spread to the bone, then he's most certainly, you were saying, had it when he was president of the United States.
Oh, yeah. He did not develop it in the last 100, 200 days. He had it while he was president. He probably had it at the start of his presidency in 2021. Yes, that I don't think there's any disagreement about that.
Because here's the thing, the treatments for that particular kind of cancer, everything that was happening to him throughout the last few years of his presidency, when he was falling over constantly, when he was forgetting a lot of shit, that's all side effects. Yeah, all of it is. Yeah. And now they're like, well, we didn't know. Bull fucking shit. Bullshit. It's like the COVID thing. Like
Wasn't his wife his doctor?
Might as well have been. Might as well have been.
Doctor-patient confidentiality.
And then after, and then after all that, then the left-wing media, legacy media, goes, oh man, he was mentally not sound. He couldn't have done it. It's like, that's what the fucking not even right-wing. That's what everyone else is saying for the last 2 years at least. This guy's not well. And it got to the point where, like, when we started, it was kind of a gaffe. It's like, what the fuck? This guy's out of his mind. And then after a while, like, no, he's seriously, something's wrong. Like, this isn't like a political thing now. This is this old guy, something's wrong. Why are you just carting him around, pushing him out there and doing, it's like, no. And it's like, oh, what are you talking about? He's fine. he's sharp as a tack. I'm in there with meetings. I mean, he's on the ball. I got to keep up with him. Fuck you. Whatever. What fucking bullshit are you spewing at me? Get
Apparently,
deep in here.
chemo helps people go faster.
Yeah.
I don't wish cancer on any person.
No,
except
like the
pedophiles.
whole thing. But that's the thing. Like, it was never about him as a politician. It's Biden as a person. Like, there's a lot of things that he fucking put through. I'm like, what the fuck? This guy's evil. But when it comes to something like that, it's like, you don't want to see something. It's like wrestling. I don't want to see, like, people get hurt and shit like that.
Even the heels. You might not like them one
Yeah.
week. You don't want to see them fucking get hurt for good.
I mean, wrestling's staged, but so is
For good.
politics.
That's
So
why I said World Wrestling Entertainment. World Politics Entertainment.
yeah, WPE. Whoopee.
Ugh.
Yeah, but they
Whoa, P!
and it comes down to like this whole thing. They don't get it. That being as far as like blue collar workers, like constantly tone policed and like the sins of our father thing, like men are inherently bad, that endless purity test, like all that kind of bullshit. And that's just on the male side. Yeah, they couldn't even figure out the minimum. They couldn't do the minimum. Just give us anything where Democrats be like, oh, well, we'll give you money. So you can't do that. I don't know. And they just gave up.
Jesus.
Well, yeah, going on with the cancer diagnosis, one point that came up with this is the question is, now that it was known and acknowledged of Biden's cognitive decline, and definitive reason being the treatment was, remember he was signing a bunch of things like AutoPen sign that was like in the news. It still is in the news. But now was the use of the AutoPen to preemptively pardon people in the last days of his presidency done by Joe Biden or the AutoPen, and was it constitutional? Because if it's the AutoPen and they are saying, well, he's not of sound mind, and he's signing all these pardons, preemptive pardons, which is like, oh, if they didn't fucking do anything, why would we preemptively pardon? Like, was that not right or wrong, but was it constitutional? And even further, was it even Joe doing it? Like, it's not like your mortgage papers where you can just like check yes or no. Like, you sign once and then just check the boxes and then just keeps adding that signature.
Or
And,
do what I did. Do one fancy signature and the rest.
just draw a log of shit with steam coming off. Is this your signature? Yes, it is.
Can you smell it?
I'm proud of that one. But yeah.
There's a brown smear wherever it says sign here.
But that's still
Oh, it's Charlie's loan application.
that's loan application. What are you gonna buy with it? But that still chaps my ass, like the whole pre-pardon thing. Like, and the fact that I haven't heard more about it since then. Like Fauci?
It was one of those things that got swept under the rug really quick.
Yeah, a lot of things. Like there's things that Trump has done where I'm like, ah, really? Like what? Like the $400 million jet. I'm like, why are we fucking like on my page of what's important? I'm like, that's on like page 3 or 4. But still, I'm like, you don't take a fucking almost $500 million jet from another country. Like, why are we doing that? Like, just, and he's like, well, it went to the Air Force. Like, either way, I mean, they're going to strip it down, check it, and do whatever they do. That's what they do. But even so, I'm like, I don't know about that one. And then, like, the whole Gaza thing, and he's like, kind of like, evidently pushing for, the left will say, for Gaza to be turned into like a parking lot. I don't know if it's that extreme, but it doesn't seem to be pulling away from it at all. And like, listen, this is like, I thought we were doing this not war thing.
He could try to push. See, that's another thing too. Like, I kind of get mad because people have been like talking. I've heard some people talking about things as of late, like, oh, he's going to lead us right into a war. And he said, no wars, no wars. No, he can. he can stand firm that he will not start a war and live true to it throughout his entire presidency.
Right.
But if he's asked to be involved with something, and then somebody pushes back and says, okay, well, now we're going to war. Well, he has to defend.
Right.
That's he's got to defend the American people.
And to be fair, like this whole thing popped off before he was even in office. So this is more like, shit, this is going on. How do I deal with it?
Try to go in there and do damage control.
Yeah.
But sometimes even
yeah, good luck, right?
Hold on one second. I got a potential spam call. Hello? Hello?
Is that a water drop?
Hello?
You're on air.
Amber, I am fantastic. How are you this evening?
Act like a telemarketer. Act like a telemarketer.
I am so glad you are interested in hearing about the perks we have to offer.
That's all on my side. Now I'm just going to transfer this call to my senior supervisor, and he will assist you further regarding your additional benefits.
It was on recording. Was it was the person?
Your call is very important to us. Please stay on the line. You'll be transferred to the next available agent.
Is that like our Oompa Loompa? Jeez. Oh, we're still going.
I'm doing good, Mark. So I would like to talk to you about the packages we have to offer. Do you have 5 minutes to talk and listen to me give you a pitch? Mark, are you there, buddy? Oh, he hung up on me. Apparently they don't like being sold shit.
Oh, it sucks when it happens to you. Fuckers.
Damn it, I was so ready to fucking pitch my potato or pasta sauce.
There's a quick, like,
dildo injector.
That's a life hack right there. You ever get that? Just sell them back something. And they're like, oh, fuck
I'm
you.
so glad you answered my call, Mark, today. I'm so glad you have 5 minutes to spare. I'd like to pitch this idea to you. How do you feel about artificial insemination?
I've been trying to contact you all day, and I'm glad you picked up. So, speaking of getting fucked.
I don't want to.
Did you see the South African thing that
No.
happened last week? No, you didn't see that?
No, what happened now? What the fuck is going on?
Trump with like the South African president.
They kicked all the white people out? Or something like that? They told them to go back?
Sort of. Yeah.
I heard something.
Not you.
What would it take for you to be convinced that there's no white genocide in South Africa?
Well, I can answer that for the president. It's for him. No, seriously.
I'd rather have him answer.
Yeah, I know the answer. It will be.
Our president will respond to you.
Yeah, let me.
Thank you, Mr. President.
It will take President Trump listening to the voices of South Africans, some of whom are his good friends.
No
like
white genocide.
Those who are here. When we have talks between us on around a quiet table, it will take President Trump to listen to them. I'm not going to be repeating what I've been saying. I would say if there was Afrikaner farmer genocide, I can bet you these three gentlemen would not be here, including my Minister of Agriculture. He would not be with me. So it'll take him, President Trump, listening to their stories, to their perspective. That is the answer to your question.
But, Mr. President, I must say that we have, wait. We have thousands of stories talking about it.
Sure.
And we have documentaries, we have news stories. And that, is Natalie here, somebody here to turn that? I could show you a couple of things. And I have to, it has to be responded to.
Yeah, sure.
We have, let me see the articles, please, if you would. And turn the lights down. Turn the lights down and just put this on. It's right behind you, Johan.
This parliament can do. With or without you, people are going to occupy land. We require no permission from you, from the president, from no one. We don't care. We can do whatever you want to do. Who are you to tell us whether we can occupy land or not? We are going to occupy land. Yeah. South Africa occupy land. That's who we are. So what to do? How can we withdraw my membership from this useless parliament? Honorable. Yes, honorable member. kill. And revolution demands that at some point there must be killing, because the killing is part of a revolutionary act. Shoot to kill, no answer. Kill the poor, the farmer. Kill the poor, the farmer. Pa, 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 pa.
It's like he's trying to speak to me. Who's your acting coach? Who's your speech coach? Fucking the Minions?
The man of D-Day in PE is a white man. So these people, when you want to hit them hard, go after a white man. They feel a terrible pain because you have touched a white man. Not because Mashama and Sunni will not be touched. They will be touched, don't worry. But we are starting with this whiteness. We are cutting the throat of whiteness. Shoot, no answer.
I'm confused.
As far as what?
What the fuck is going on over there?
The white genocide? Definitely not that.
But the guy just said,
yeah, don't worry about that. If you ask legacy media, specifically left-leaning, CNN, MSNBC, right? All this is AI.
Cheap fakes?
Hey, why'd you roll your eyes like that? Yeah, AI. So that's AI. And then on the other side of that side, they'll say, well, President Bush ambushed. He ambushed him with these. Like, well, no.
President Bush.
Or Bush, yeah. He ambushed. President Trump ambushed this guy. So, what was being said? Obviously, in the beginning, it's like, well, there's white genocide. And the president goes, Ramaphosa goes like, no, there's not. There's no white genocide. There's no one calling for that. And then I thought it was funny because Trump, as he said that, he's like, because he fucking knew he had everything right there. He was like, and then it was like, do you turn the lights down? It's like when the teacher rolls in. It's like,
yeah.
Turn the lights down. I'm like, what's this here? What is that right there? What's that going on? Shoot the kill. And he's doing all this fucking with all these people chanting and everything. And then there was a video. It's probably further in this. And there's a car going down the road with a bunch of like white crosses along the side of the road, and that representing all the like different white farmers that have been murdered by this revolution that's going on, right? So while Trump's watching that, he says, look, all these crosses, like all the burial sites of all these, because he said burial sites and like these graves, the left went, well, that's not true. How they do, usually they'll take one little thing and then go, well, he said it this way, so the whole statement is false. Well, it's a false statement. Why is it false? Well, it wasn't burial sites, it was memorials. Like, over dead fucking people. Like, whatever. Like, it's like holding the card like this or like this, It's the same thing. But because of that, they said, well, no, that's a false statement. What he said was false. And then, like I said, it's like, well, he ambushed him. It's like, well, no.
No, he bold-faced said, no, there is nothing going on, and President Trump needs to listen to what's going on to believe it.
It's not an ambush. It's just calling out someone's bullshit. He's, you just listen to the people. He's like, okay, let's listen to the people. Bring on the screen. They like,
he did what he said he'd do.
Yes,
he did.
Shit.
I didn't expect him to call my bluff.
Yeah, and then I've talked to somebody before. It's like, why does that matter? We're in like another country that has nothing to do with us. It's like, that's what we've been fucking saying about Ukraine and Russia. Now you get it. Like, now you understand. Like, for me personally, it's like, I don't want anything to do with South Africa. It's like, we got so much shit we got to take care of here. It's like, no, never mind that. Is that an unfortunate situation? Of course it is.
Yes.
But I don't want to be in fucking Ukraine and Russia either. Here we are. Well, it's a proxy war. It's like, is that better than boots on the ground, direct war with Russia? Yes, of course it is. But we're still involved. And if things go fucking south for Ukraine or Russia, even for that matter, and they go, United States, this is because of you, and then they turn their attention toward us, well, now we're fucked twice. Because now we spent shit tons of billions of dollars. We spent shit tons of billions of dollars on a proxy war we weren't even directly involved with. And now we're going to have to do it directly with that we would be involved with. So like the whole thing is just not good. That's why like Ukraine, Russia, fuck off. Like no. And then the South Africa thing, no. But since we're here involved with both of them, and then finally the left goes, why are we involved with that? It's like, I don't know. Tell me about Russia and Ukraine, and I can answer your question. But going all the way back, and another reason the left-wing media wouldn't report on this, why? Another reason why left-wing media doesn't cover this because it doesn't fit a narrative.
No.
What's their narrative? Black Lives Matter. All the oh, what's his face? I can't breathe.
George Floyd.
Yeah. Floyd. Like that whole...
The narrative is look at the rest of the world and how bad it is for everybody when it fits our narrative. The minute something's going on that doesn't fit their narrative, well, we have no business being involved with that.
Yeah, that added on to the fact that it's like... And this, I've said it before on the show, my old job, racism is uniquely American. I'm like, where the holy, what news are you watching? Or none at all, evidently. No, it's not.
Oh, yeah.
No, it's not. Slavery, too, that was one. Slavery is uniquely American. It was like, right.
Yeah,
Egypt.
Slavery was around
You're right.
thousands of years before America was founded. Okay.
We just discovered it in the 1600s. It's like, oh, shit, we can do this? Like, no, that's not the way that works. But it doesn't fit a narrative. So they go, and when it pops up in the news, they're like, oh, it's AI. Or Trump ambushed him. He's bad. Orange man bad. Fine. Oh, cripe. Oh, I got a couple other things. Like the Steve Harvey trial. There was something that popped up with that is Steve Harvey. 25 years getting fucked by Diddy, literally. And like it almost seemed like and it almost seemed like the way it was portrayed, maybe it's just the way I kind of interpreted it, it was like Steve Harvey was like kind of a prisoner to the whole thing. Like, I can't get away. Mr. Slave. Jesus Christ.
This is good. Oh, Jesus.
But that's just the way maybe like my fantastical brain interpreted the whole thing. I'm like, oh man, poor Steve. Little Stevie.
It's that mustache.
But yeah,
if you didn't have the mustache, the whore.
Yeah, but and then
a little victim blamer.
Wait a minute, there's a TikTok video when it comes to the Steve Harvey thing. I don't know what to say. Oh, and then with the Steve Harvey thing too, there was another thing. There was video unavailable, whatever. So they took it down. Like, well, I don't like the Diddy thing. But there was evidently, and this is, I have no idea. Evidently, though, there was audio leaked of Diddy and LeBron James. That one didn't really surprise me so much. I was like, yeah, fucking.
No, there's a photo that they fucking proved wasn't a fake of fucking LeBron in a maid's outfit. Legit. At a Diddy party.
Yeah. I believe it. I definitely believe it. And then... Annabelle was missing, but they found her. The Annabelle doll. When that first came across, the Annabelle doll's missing. It's like, well, why not?
Apparently they moved the Annabelle doll and a place burned down.
No, it's been fucking... it's been on tour.
Yeah, and apparently one of the places that went burned down.
Probably. I don't know. But Annabelle went missing, but they found her, so whatever. But this one I thought was interesting. This is one I just heard the other day. Governor Kathy Hochul now wants to implement a rule where in New York State they want to install in all vehicles of a whatever, I don't even know what it's, some kind of device that would beep at you, honk their horn at you if you pass somebody that was speeding. So if you were speeding by someone, everyone's horn would fucking honk at you. I
am passing so many fucking people.
One, I thought was like, fucking why? But then beyond that, I'm like, well, now, wait a minute.
This could be fun.
It will be, but then I'm like, this is going to be fucking annoying because anyone who lives next to the thruway all fucking day is going to be New York City. Because nobody drives 65 in the thruway unless you're pulling off onto the pull-off. Everyone does like 75 and up. Mm-hmm. everybody, unless you have a governor on your vehicle.
I am so gonna like start speeding through town.
That is the dumbest fucking shit. I'm like,
Every driveway, 35 miles per hour. Beep 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 beep. I'm gonna. I hope it happens.
wait a minute.
I hope it happens.
What if the sensitivity when they first put them out? What if the sensitivity is too high and there's
31
construction?
miles per hour?
No, there's construction on the opposite lane, and you're on the passing lane. And you're doing like 70, and everyone's horns like, "Wah!"
No, or it's so sensitive that they go to do like they range it. It's not supposed to go off after anything under 5 miles per hour with the speed limit. 30.5 miles per hour. Beep 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 beep. Oh, this town's gonna love me.
But yeah, so I heard that. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, this broad just sit in her office every day and be like, what's the worst possible idea I could come up with?
What would Joe do?
At WWJD, like, what would Joe do?
WWJD.
That's her sticker.
And instead
like,
of a fish, it's gonna be a wheelchair. Or it depends.
It's gonna be a kid being sniffed, a big nose, just a nose on it. A hairy leg. It's gonna be a hairy leg.
It's gonna be the foot. No, it's gonna be like this. W J D. It's gonna be the fucking leg. And there's gonna be hair coming off the letters.
With a hand going down it. Oh, jeez. Well, that's the news I got for you. Whatever.
Yep.
Bye, fucker.